Super Rugby Unlocked, the round 4 Saturday games. I've watched a lot of rugby today. 3 games of the Six Nations and then these two. I did double watch these. So, as always, please feel free to fill in any of the blanks that I am missing because it's hard to watch 2 games at the same time. But it was certainly high scoring. The previous game I watched before this was like the Wales and Scotland game, which was like 14-10. So 42-19 and 39-6. Some big old scores over in South Africa. And one match that got abandoned. That didn't come as a huge surprise because people had told me about it, and I guess it's fitting a team named the Stormers got a match abandoned due to thunderstorms. But anyway, as I said, I'll go through these quickly. Stats, thoughts, and you guys let me know your thoughts as well. The first game is the Sharks and the Pumas. With the Pumas being at home. Bit of a hiding. But the Pumas, I think the scoreline blew up for them a bit at the end. It wasn't actually looking too bad for a time. But then it kind of blew out. Like 28-14. At that point, it's still kind of not quite game on, but one more score makes it interesting. And then most of the rest of the points came from the Sharks. And they started quick, man. Marnie Libbok in the first minute. The Sharks had really good hands. Tumboya just got caught by like the back of his shirt, but he still managed to get the ball away. And 7 points to nil very early for the Sharks. Tumboya, and his name comes up a fair bit in this game, to be fair. He got a try for himself on 12 minutes. Talliard tried to chase him down. I thought for a second he might be closing the gap. But Tumboya, now that he's back from injury, is showing some proper gas. 14-0. And then the pain kept coming for the Pumas because on 18 minutes, Just got a try. That one was from a maul, and it was just too strong. 21-0 after about as many minutes. So Sharks just cruising at a point a minute, absolutely looking like proper class. However, the Pumas did bite back. Kleinhahn's got a try on 26 minutes. Another 5-meter line out, and he kind of went over on his own. 21-7. At least that's a bit more respectable at that point. Bit of handbags, to be fair. Bit of handbags. And interestingly, Rasta Rasavengi did one thing that I do like, although I know some people kind of criticize it, but the Pumas halfback, Smuts, he tried to milk a penalty. I think it was Buthelezi who was retreating, not in the way of the pass at all, and he kind of just deliberately passed it into him, and Rasta did not give a penalty for that one, which is, you've seen it milked again and again and again. And that, I think, was a genuine one where, if anything, Smuts may have actually been passing it forward. He could have given a forward pass. But, yeah, there was... Like, you don't want lazy runners, but I kind of appreciate the ref calling that one for what it was. 36 minutes, the Pumas missed a penalty. Maybe they're missing Eddie Fushi a bit for there because he had a bit of a radar boot. Bit of a comeback from the Pumas, but right before halftime, Nkosi, man, on the right wing, he gave a big old don't argue for his try. Just sit down. There was no stopping him when he was going for that try line, and a huge conversion from Bosch, plus a huge pass to actually set it up. I think it ended up being a bit of a bounce pass from Kerwin Bosch, but it was a huge pass. So, credit to him for having a proper good game. 28 points to 7 at half-time. Second half, Pumas get the first try through Cronje. He converts it on the left wing. There was a big old clean break in the build-up to it. Interestingly, he was kind of looking behind him and fended Lucanio arm off. He was running like almost like scared because, he that moment where you've got to judge the try line and how close that man is behind you. But he actually did it okay in the end. But, he just really wanted to put some distance between himself and Lucanio Arm. Yeah, 28-14. That's the kind of the moment I'm saying, like, okay, 28-14, one more try for the Pumas and we got a game. And the Pumas actually on 60 minutes had a huge line break. The fullback, what's his name? Huge, man. They went halfway up the field, three-quarters of the way up the field, but they couldn't convert. Nohamba gets a yellow card. I'm assuming it's from offside again. I'm watching both games. Sharks were under a heap of pressure. So you're thinking, yep, Pumas, one more. But the Sharks, as soon as they get that yellow card, it's like they wake up. They start putting the pressure back on. They get the first of Van Vuren's try from a big old maul. Another great conversion, so it's 35-14. Cronje gets another one for the Pumas on 71 minutes. A huge pass. Speaking of huge passes, Smuts it was. Huge pass from him. Similar to Bosch's one earlier. It was maybe even better. 35-19. And then Van Vuren to get the bonus point one right at the death. A few minutes to go. 42-19. Yeah, they were looking pretty good. So, entertaining game. Heap of points. A bit of back and forth. Sharks dominant for most of the first half. The Pumas had a good 15-20 minute period in the second half. Over the course of the 80, the right team won. So the Sharks are up into third and the Pumas are in sixth on the Super Rugby Unlocked ladder. Talliard had 66 run meters. Tambwe had 132 and 4 defenders beaten. Final run meters ended up being 253 to 416. Remember, I said Tambwe got 132, so the Sharks as a team had 416. He was cutting things up, man. Turnovers conceded 20 to 16. That's a ton. And the Sharks actually had to make more tackles. The Sharks have got the Cheetahs at home next week. That'll be a big game. It's second against third. And the Pumas have the bye, in which they will need to try and recover because, yeah, with only a few weeks to go, it's not looking all that flash in terms of their position on the log. The next game, Bulls and Stormers. Top billing for this game. And it started off kind of tentatively. Bulls get a penalty, 3-0. Stormers get a penalty, 3-3. Bulls concede a penalty, so the Stormers actually go in front, 6 points to 3. And then the Bulls get one back, so it's 6-6 after like 15 minutes. And then the Bulls just unleash. Grobbelaar gets one on 22 minutes. It's a maul. They initially held that first shove, did the Sharks, but they put a second one on and they went over. 13-6. Galant kicks a ball just dead, and it's those kind of errors which were costly to the Stormers because then we go back the other end from where the kick was taken. Hans gets a try. It's from Funsale, run on the blind side of the scrum. Good hands from the Bulls guys, and it's 20 points to 6. So you go from being 1 meter, having a perfect kick right down the Bulls' end, putting them under pressure, to standing under your own posts. Yeah, not ideal for the Stormers, guys. 33 minutes. Funsale got the try. That one was... There was an initial line break. I forget who that was. Then it was Hans with the offload. It looks like they've blown the try, but then they managed to get it. The kick hits the post, and it's 25-6. And then there's another try on 36 minutes. It's Norkia. And I actually wrote a note on that one saying, are you kidding? Because it was Dwayne Vermeulen with an initial kind of line break. The Bulls with good hands out onto the right wing. Mornay Stain does a chip and regather, which is something I don't remember him doing a heck of a lot of, but maybe I just got a bad memory. He passes it, and Norkia is the guy who goes over for the score. It's 32 points to 6 at halftime. 32-6. Remember, it was 6-3 to the Stormers at one point. Second half, the Bulls get another one. It's Hans again. Stain puts a little kick through. He regathers it, 39 points to 6. And that is how she finishes, because there's an apparent approaching thunderstorm. I couldn't really tell from the footage at the ground how bad the weather was, but the camera never does it justice. So yeah, for safety reasons, they abandoned the game. I read, apparently, because they played half the game, the result still stands. So the Bulls get the win. The Stormers don't get nothing. Fair result, man. The Stormers were getting a bit of a hiding. Stormers are in 4th now. The Bulls are in 1st. The Bulls are looking like the team to beat. Jake White's turnaround seems to be looking pretty good. Run meters 230 to 183, relatively tight. Defenders beaten 18 to 11 in favour of the Bulls. Clean breaks 7 to 2 in favour of the Bulls. Turnovers conceded 2 to 9. 9 being the Stormers because, yeah, not pretty. Fonsell had 5 defenders beaten. That's maybe the best game I've ever seen him play. And Hunt had 2 clean breaks. Malherbe had 10 from 10 tackles if you're looking for a bright spot for the Stormers. But yeah, it was not a pretty one at all. The Bulls are home to the Lions next week, so a local rivalry. And then the Stormers are away to the Griquas, who are bottom of the log. But yeah, match abandoned. Unfortunate, but maybe that kind of gets the Stormers out of jail. Actually, the Stormers, I thought, before the match was abandoned, that last kind of period, they actually seemed to be building. They actually seemed to be building pretty well. So it's kind of unfortunate that just as they were getting momentum, not that it looked like they were definitely going to score, but the feeling I got was they were actually getting their act together, and then the match gets abandoned. But yep, safety first. We've already got COVID going around, so we don't need to add thunderstorms to that. Let's just stay safe and watch more rugby next week. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the games. How did you think they went? Key performers, key moments, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.